Hello, I'm Jacob, and today we're going to do a little something different. As you know, I don't just like cartoons, but I also like cartoons, movies, what we're going to talk about today, and comic books. 1971 was an interesting year for movies. To be accessible back then, you almost had to be a Disney film. And heck, even Disney was failing at that time with the death of Walt Disney. However, in the woodworks, you had a slew of underground films trying to make its peak. And today what we're going to talk about today is one of my favorite cult classics, Harold and Maude, from 1971. Harold and Maude follows this boy named Harold who's obsessed with suicide, and he fakes his own suicides to get out of things like marriage and...
His own death.
Huh?
It's his own death.
Yeah, fakes his own death.
Not his own suicide.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Sorry. He's my subconscious. And basically he fakes his own deaths to get out of things like marriage and just socializing. And all of a sudden he finds this old woman named Maude, what has a different point of view. She's close to her to death, and she looks up things in a positive light. I guess one of my favorite scenes, if I had to say, is when Harold's mom is trying to get his son to marry, and he fakes his own death just to get out of marriage. And he slowly starts to fall in love with Maude. Now, he is about 18, 17, and she's an older woman, about 20. Now, I know that 40. Now, I know that does sound weird, but when you watch it, it makes a lot of sense for a person like Harold to fall in love with Maude.
But it's still weird.
Oh man. But basically, if you like old 70s movies, especially the weird quote classic ones, and you like quote classics in general, you're gonna love this. By the way, Cat Stevens does the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is really good. The acting is good too. It's not wooden like most Hollywood films then were. Now this wasn't a big success back then. This was sort of a failure in the box office. But however, it did become a cult classic over time, while VHS sales dropped in the 80s. So do I recommend this film? Yes. It gets the Jacob seal of approval to me. So, if you've seen Harold and Maude, and if you like to talk about it, leave down in the comment section, and I'm planning to do this more often. I'm going to call it Jacob Reviews, and I got a lot of movies I like, what I would like to review, and if anybody has a movie you like, who you want me to review, leave it down in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do.